This interview is being taped, recorded, and may be given in evidence if your case is brought to trial. The time is 2100 hours on Wednesday, the 29th of May, 2013. This interview is taking place at University Park Police Station. My name is Allison Smith. I work with the University Park Police Station. My role today is to interview in relation of the armed robbery you've been arrested for. I will be making notes during the interview purely for my reference. Also present is police dog Millie, who may or may not be in view of the camera. Can you give your full name, please?
Richard Kevin Smith.
And your date of birth?
10/29/1961.
Can you confirm for the purpose of the tape that there are no other
I would
persons?
like counsel present.
Here is the phone. You may call your lawyer. That is it.
I have the Miranda rights.
This is the interrogation. You've already been read those after you got arrested. Now dial the number.
I'll waive my rights to my lawyer.
Can you confirm for the purpose of the tape that there are no other persons present in the interview room?
Yes.
I now need to caution you, and it is important that you understand what caution means. So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense. If you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court, anything you do say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
Yes. Type of caution.
I will explain. You have the right to silence. You do not have to answer the questions if you do not want to. However, this is the opportunity for you to give your version of the events. If you decline to answer your questions, then anything they say in court to the contrary may harm you. This court may also draw an inference from your silence. Obviously, the interview is being taped, recorded, and it can be produced in court. The right to free and independent advice. Do you require the services of a solicitor? Any reason why not?
I don't need a solicitor. I can answer my own questions.
If you change your mind at any point, let me know.
I'm not going to change my mind.
And I can stop the interview. You can speak to a solicitor by phone or in person. At the conclusion of the interview, I will give you a notice that explains what happens to the tape and how you or the solicitor will have access to them. Agree?
Agreed.
Okay, so tell me, why do you think you've been arrested?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
What happened to the gun we found in your possession?
It's not my gun.
We went back to where it was bought, and records show that it was purchased under your name with your ID. Camera verifies.
I don't have a gun license.
But you got a gun.
You can buy a gun in the state of Texas without having a gun license.
I thought you just said you didn't have a gun.
I didn't have a gun.
Then why would you know that you could buy a gun in the state of Texas without a license?
Because I can read.
But you don't have a gun. But you just said you had a gun. What's the truth?
I hunt.
What's the biggest feral you caught?
I hunt deer.
What do you think feral is?
I'm not familiar with feral.
Those are hunting terms. I'm an avid hunter myself. Where do you hunt?
Why?
Really? Wyoming only has birds and doves and ducks. Wyoming?
Prove it.
You prove it. Okay. So without this gun, why do we have you on footage going into 7-Eleven with... Why does our footage show you walking into 7-Eleven?
I wanted a Slurpee.
And then you just happened to draw out your gun when you got to the register?
Didn't have a gun.
But you admitted earlier than you that you bought a gun.
I did have a gun.
But you
It
just
was
said...
a water gun.
Footage shows... Where were you on that night, apparently buying a Slurpee? What'd you do after buying a Slurpee?
Went home.
That's funny. Your wife said you didn't see you for hours after the incident.
She wasn't home when I got home.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That contradicts what she states.
She was upstairs. I was downstairs.
But you just said she wasn't home, but then you said she was upstairs.
That's true.
So what is it, Mr. Smith?
went home.
Was your wife at home?
I believe she was at home, yes.
Then why'd she say that you didn't come home when you said you did?
You really want to know why?
I do.
She's trying to have me arrested so she'd get the house and take all the assets. That's what happened.
Oh, so this is a conspiracy theory now.
Yes. That's why she's not telling the truth. It's been this way for years. And my children are after me too.
The store manager, when given a list of mugshots, pointed to your face.
Okay?
Explain.
I did it.
You confessed?
No. But I was at 7-Eleven. I spoke to the manager there. Got my Slurpee. I left. I went home. I was downstairs. My wife probably didn't realize that I was at home. But I was.
Then you said you spoke to the
You
manager.
can check my cell phone and the location on my cell phone, and it will show that's where I was.
Well, of course it shows you at 7-Eleven. That's where the armed robbery took place.
I was in there getting the Slurpee at that time.
You say you spoke to the manager, not the clerk?
I thought the manager and the clerk were one and the same.
They're not. One gets paid minimum wage, the other gets paid $2 more than minimum wage.
Well, how would I know that? How would I be able to differentiate?
Because they wear special name tags.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Did you do it?
I was there.
We have a witness.
The passenger in the car did it. He was with me. But I was there.
Oh, so now the passenger in the car did it.
There were two people in the car. We both walked out of the car. I went and got my Slurpee. He came back, and then he robbed the 7-Eleven. He tried to say that I did
But you
it.
said he was with you.
He was with me.
So y'all were together?
We were together.
Is that your partner?
Yes. The camera.
The camera shows evidence.
Couldn't have. We disconnected the camera.
I knew it! No further questions. Is there anything you would like to add or clarify?
No.
I am now handing you the notice that explains what happens to the tape. The time is now 21:30 hours, and the interview is concluded. I am now switching off the tapes.
Thank you.